Assalamu alaikum and hello viewers. America is one of the important and powerful players in North Africa and also in Middle East. America has supported some regimes and governments in North Africa and Arab countries, while it has also opposed some. What were the reasons? Today we'll talk on this topic. I have Dr. Ismail Adaramola Abdulaziz with my vlog. I welcome him. He has expertise on the United States policies in North Africa. He has done his doctorate, Ph.D. research thesis on the US foreign policies and its dynamics towards North Africa, especially in the Cold War period, and also he is covering the post-Cold War period. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dr. Ismail Adaramola, please tell to the viewers that why United States of America has not been supporting democracy and democratic governments in Egypt. If we see historically, the Hosni Mubarak regime and even after that now the military dictatorship by General Sisi in Egypt. So every time United States is just supporting the dictatorial or civilian dictatorships in Egypt, but not democratic governments. So what are the main factors and reasons behind the US this policy?
Thank you so much, Dr. Manzoor Saab. Actually, when we are talking of American foreign policy, especially in North African Arab world, we can see totally and very clearly that America is just pursuing her own interest in that region. Actually, excuse me, when we are talking of foreign policy for any nation, for any country, the first and foremost thing to have is to look for to target for your own interest after security. But in case of America, she's just focusing on our own interest. In order to achieve our own interest in Egypt, for instance, when we are talking of historically, in ancient Egypt, Egypt does not even have any kind of democratic perfect system since. So America used to support the democratic, even monarchism and so many other dictatorship in Egypt in order to achieve. Let's see, America support Egyptian president before even Hosni Mubarak. We have seen Gamal Abdel Nasser. He was supported by America because he wanted to be, nationalist before, but they focused on him. He was assassinated, as you know about the history of political history of Egypt. Later on, Hosni Mubarak was become, American, agent in that area to look forward and to work for them. America applied, different type of, foreign policy there. Containment, number one. When we are talking of containment, America apply political containment, also economic containment, as well as military containment, even social containment as well. The meaning of containment in foreign policy is when you want to achieve something, you want to achieve your goals and aims, you have to contain. Containment means when you know that somebody likes something. I give one example. In case of when we are talking of dog, I'm sorry to give example of dog because that is suitable example. You know that dog love and like to handle bone. When you want to take and you want to take something from dog, you have to contain him in order to make him or to make her busy and continue. Then you will be able to achieve something. America contained on the Egyptian political system, military system by financing them. So they are still able to achieving their aims, goals, politically, socially, even economically, till now. America does not even look for a democratic system over there. Let me give one example. When we are talking of Hosni Mubarak, who spent almost 30 years in power, even he abused the power. When he became, when he became irrelevant in the society, he was removed, either direct or indirect. The first policy, that containment policy. The second one is the regime change. They used to change regimes from one place to another in order to achieve their aims and objectives. So they apply. Actually, Morsi was elected as the first and foremost president of Egypt. But unfortunately, we know, everyone knows what was happened to him. Okay, he never spent a good 1 year till he was removed. So after he removed the Fattah Sisi, who is military, still in power since then till today. What is the benefit of revolution? When we are talking of revolution, can we call that one revolution? It's not a revolution. Okay, it is evolution only, because never change the system. So they are trying to contain them by regime changes as well. They have changed many regimes. When they are thinking that they are not safe in this regime, they will change another regime in order to achieve their aims and objectives in that area of Arab world. So they still continue supporting any dictatorship government or military government or even undemocratic, which is illegitimate rules. So this is how, but they made it illegitimate. They made it legitimate because they, according to America, policies in everywhere, that's okay. We are supporting democratic everywhere. But in case of Egypt, I can say North Africa, especially, they are not supporting any kind of democratic system. But they are achieving and moving toward their goals and objectives. That is simply what I can observe in that area. I can give another example as well. When Gamal Abdel Nasser, when he was a president, he was trying to look something, his policy was in favor of Egyptians, but unfortunately, it was directed by America that not to, because it became a nationalist, and the nationalist is not in favor of America. He was dismissed. He was assassinated. He was Anyway, his government was stopped, closed.
Okay, Arab Spring started in 2011, and it was from North Africa and also spread over the Middle Eastern countries. So what are the outcomes and consequences of the Arab Spring movements, especially in the North African Arab states?
The consequences and outcomes is clear, when we are talking of Libya. So Libya was, to some extent, was good. They were in good condition. They were comfortable before killing of Muammar Gaddafi, who was killed in 2011. But after him, there was no security of life, security of property, because many people were kidnapping. There was trafficking, women trafficking, and so many other, bad things were there. Even government was not stable. So, assassination always going on there. There was no even, perfect government in Libya. So people started complaining about the Libyan today, even post-Gaddafi era. So there was no any changes because it is like somebody who was fearing of sun and he put himself in a very hard fire. So they are now even complaining and blaming themselves. It's kind of blame game. Why we killed Gaddafi? This is how consequences and also outcome was not so good compared to previous time, because Gaddafi provided a lot of things for his own citizens. When we are talking of salary for employee, security of life, security of property, even everybody was moving toward her aims and objectives. But today, the life was so difficult for them. Most of Libyan people, they are moving from Libya to Italy. They were killed in desert. So because they spent a lot of days without any food, without any water, many of them were killed by many, by different problems they were facing towards there. Second thing, foreigners, they are not even safe there now because of kidnapping and for ransom and so many other problems there. So this is one example in case of Libya. Another example in Tunisia as well. After Zain al-Abidin left for Tunisia, he left for Saudi Arabia. Since then, there was no perfect government. There was no security of life. There was no even people are not even be able to get job. So they are still in the problem. So they are facing a lot of challenges. When we are talking of challenges, social challenges even, because they cannot claim their lives, they cannot claim their rights when we are talking of fundamental rights in their constitution. According to a Tunisian constitution, constitutionally, it failed. So there's no any benefit, or we can say any kind of achievement they achieved. There's no tangible achievement after Arab Spring in that area. I can say perfectly. So.
The last question I want to ask you, that why Tunisia can't have perfect democracy or a stable democratic government even in the post-Arab Spring period?
As I said before, that after Zain al-Abidin left for Saudi Arabia, so there was a general election where the deputy prime minister was become, president of the country. Later, it was removed again. There was another general election still, and it was in process. But the system of democratization is not in perfect, direction there, because of intervention of foreign, intervention of people from outside. They intervene in their politics. How? The intervention through political instability, because Tunisia does not have political culture. When we are talking about political culture, many people think maybe Arabism disturbed. No, Arabism never disturbed. To have or to achieve a very, very perfect democratic system. But the problem is the intervention of people from outside on their government. It is disturbing the system domestically. Okay? Socially, they are not fit because, too much crime is there now. So there's no anybody who can trace them or there's no proper rule and regulation in Tunisia even until today. So meanwhile, it's supposed to be standard. They are trying to replace, but it's not yet accordingly. When we are talking of constitutionally, I said before that when we are Tunisia tried to frame another constitution in order to make her own citizens satisfied from their government. But unfortunately, implementation is not done up to yet. So they are trying their best, but implementation not yet according to international standard. So they are just trying their best. Many people raise the alarm that maybe because of Islam, or no, it's not because of Islam. Islam does not even against comfortability or to have your life, perfect life, security of life, security of property, and security of yourself. You have to look for your own interest. As I used to say in international politics, there is no permanent enemy or permanent friend, but there is permanent interest. This is according to Tunisia.
Thank you, Dr. Ismail, for sharing your knowledgeable thoughts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dear viewers, it was Nigerian scholar Dr. Ismail Adaramola Abdulaziz who shared his views with us regarding the U.S. policies, especially in North Africa and also in the post-Arab world there. Keep watching the videos and channel for more interesting videos. Take care.